Hey, so this is just a message for those who want to listen. As you know, I'm not a person to get on Facebook or IG and do too much talking. You know what I mean? But I've been in a place in my life where I just want to, I learn each and every day about myself, every day. So, you know what I mean? I feel like it's necessary sometimes to just give some of your input, you know what I mean? And I give my input from my position and some of the things that I've gone through within my life, And, you know what I mean? With that being said, it's so much that I can see that we always chasing and we going for on a regular basis that don't necessarily have a foundational value to it. And I think it's when you get to a certain age, listen, we all do it. So when you get to a certain age, it get to a place where you have to really boil down to the core of what really matters to you the most. And I think a lot of times we get lost in the sauce and don't really take the time out to figure out what matters. And I don't mean material stuff. I don't mean cars, house. I don't mean, how many females you got on your team. You know what I mean? I think that stuff is just very surface level. But I think it's important at some point to really boil down to the values that matter to you. The things that you feel hold weight if you lose everything. If something happened to you physically, you know what I mean? What are the things that hold you down and really shows you true value within yourself? It ain't for nobody else. Cause I can see I got a lot of, I got my own homies. Yeah, my own homies that I've had in my past that, you know, not even just my homie, myself included. You know what I mean? To where, you put weight on the things that are temporary. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna be long on it, but I just want to say, more than anything else, make sure you have your values intact and what matters to you. And when you find out what matters to you the most, be about it. 100% be about it. No apologies. No, having to explain yourself. Just be about it. And I say that for anything that you do. If you're gonna be I got partners that, they live a life that's not the life that I live at this point. What I mean by that, they live a real street life, or they live the street life. And I always tell them, shit, if you want to be the biggest dope boy in the world, and that's your end goal for what you is, god damn it, go all the way out with it. Just understand that the consequences in the bed that you create when you do. Because I always tell people, no matter how hard you are, no matter how much dope you can say that you slaying and you do it or whatever it is, always another man out there that if a person has nothing to lose, you at a disadvantage to that person. Because they don't mind taking anything you have because they don't have nothing in themselves that they value. So for me, I've always kept that in mind and kept that perspective with anything that I've done throughout my life. I ain't saying I've done everything right, but I always keep that as the end goal. Because a person will snatch away what you have in a heartbeat for that. And there are people that prey on that. So you got to be mentally prepared and have the clarity to understand and see that before it comes. And have a circle around you that if you don't see it, they gonna see it. And they gonna make sure that it don't go but so far. So for me, that's something I hold myself to. The same way I say what you, if that's what you're gonna do in your life and that's what you choose, you know what I mean, that's what it is. And I always say shit, that's your right. But there's also the seeds that we plant. They gotta grow. They gotta manifest one way or another. Everything in this life has to manifest and create itself into a reality of what it is. So with that being said, if you're gonna go after it, period. Period. If you're a teacher, I always tell people, and this ain't about money, because there's teachers right now that have made such an impact on kids' life that when they become adults, they never forget that person that made that positive impact on their life. You planted a seed. I got teachers right now, I got coaches right now that I remember I remember specific moments in my time that they have said things to me, that they have encouraged me to go about the things that matter to me. And that seed has been planted, and I think helped make up the makeup of who I am today. My father, a prime example. My father has never, it don't matter if it was the young white kid that never played at the end of the bench on my baseball team, or if it was the dope boy in my neighborhood who ain't nobody say nothing to. He never changed his perspective to that person, and he made them feel like their opinion, their voice was invalid and important. And then he gave his reinforcement of what he feels will help better them as a person. And I think if we did that more often and we showed a level of non-judgment, but encouragement and gave honest perspective of what you feel without tearing a person down, it go a long way. And that seed grows and manifests into whatever it is in the future, you know. And I think that goes for the good or the bad. The good or the bad. So, you know, I get my whole reason for saying what I'm saying today, and what I just wanted to put out there is that understand that you reap what you sow, what you plant will come to fruition for the good or bad. It may not happen immediate, but don't ever look for the immediate, because this ain't no sprinter's race. And if you keep that in mind with anything that you do and surround yourself with the people that you want to continue to that you feel helps you grow in some way, before. And I don't mean just because they got cars, just because they got houses, or just because they got a successful job. That ain't what I mean. Surround yourself with people that's gonna make your inner you better. Your inner you. You might have just real conversation with one of your family members or one of your friends. That's all they offer you is genuine, real advice. That's valuable to your character of who you are. You might have a person that might help advance you in your career, and that helps and has the knowledge and insight to help you in that. That's added value to the character of who you are and your positioning in life. You know, you might have a kid that you see how he handles adversity, a young kid, and you see that and you take the jewels out of what you see out of people to help better you as an individual. And as long as you're doing that and you protecting your domain, and when I say protect your domain, I mean protect the things that value your soul, your heart, your family, your friends that matter to you, the things that matter, you protect that by any means, and don't take it for granted. Damn sure don't take it for granted for money. So I just felt it was necessary to put that out there and let you know. And man, I hope for those that, you know, that listen, they respect it and get where I'm coming from.